All right, so let's take a look at this example here. So again, we've got a complex fraction. Notice how we're dealing with negative exponents. So in this method, method number 2, is what we're going to do is we're going to basically multiply everything by the least common divisor of all of the divisors. Okay? So if we look at all the individual fractions, we're going to multiply them by the least common divisor of all of the divisors for all the individual fractions. Okay, so to see this better, let's rewrite this with positive exponents. So this is going to be, again, using the property of exponents, this is going to be 1 over d squared minus 1 over c squared. And then in the denominator, it'll be 1 over d minus 1 over c. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the least common divisor of all of the fractions. So the least common divisor of all the fractions in this case is going to be d squared times c squared, because that's the only thing missing. To make these all the same, this is missing a c squared, this is missing a d squared, this is missing a dc squared, this is missing a cd squared. And then we'll have the common denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by c squared d squared. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just distribute across, and this is what I'm going to end up with. So notice over here, all I'm doing, if you look at this, all I'm doing is multiplying the whole fraction by a form of 1. Because this divided by this is just 1. So what I'm doing is I'm just multiplying by a form of 1, where what's going to happen is all of the fractions are going to drop out, as you're going to see right here. Okay? So what's going to happen here? The d squared cancels the d squared here. The c squared cancels the c squared here. D cancels with one of those, this C cancels with one of those, and we end up with what? We end up with C squared minus D squared over C squared D minus C D squared. Okay, so far so good. So make sure you understand how I got to this part here. Okay? Now, let's see if we can simplify this further. So this is the difference of two squares. So this is going to be C plus D times C minus D. And then on the bottom here, we can factor out a D and a C. So if we factor out DC, CD, then we end up with C minus D. Ah, yes. And so now we can cancel these factors, and we end up with C plus D over the product CD. And that is our final answer. All right. We'll be back with another example.